peu haillant, alors c'est un peu lourd. Ok. Alors j'ai demandé tout à l'heure, vous n'avez rien pour tracteur. Alors non, mais c'est pour ça que j'ai appelé. Ça fait une centaine de kilos, 100 et quelques. Hein. Ah oui, ok. Ça, on n'enlève pas. Non. Ok. On pose, hein. Stoves arrived. Ooh, look at that. Stove has arrived. Oh yeah, that's a big one. Solid fuel stove for central heating. So, the crack with this is I ordered it months ago. And well, you get stoves all over France, but this one has a back boiler in it, so you can hook it up to a central heating system and run all your radiators off it. It's an 11.2 kilowatt stove, and it'll transfer 7.1 kilowatts of heat to the radiators, which will be plenty. I think even if it didn't transfer a lot of heat to the radiators, that stove alone would heat this house up pretty well. Obviously, I'm not a stove engineer or whatever you want to call it. If you're installing a stove in France, you need to have someone come and install it for you, because otherwise your insurance is invalid. So I need to bring a mate of mine who's fully qualified, the whole shebang, and he's hopefully going to install the stove and then hook it up to these pipes here, which I've already handily labelled for him. And then I think we need to put an expansion tank in the attic and an overflow, and a pump goes in there somewhere. There's a whole thing. But the good news is, this winter, we'll have a stove in this house. What nice, isn't it? Look at that. It is. Oh, it's giving me the instructions for how to do all the good stuff. And it's in English as well. That's handy. Cool. Right. Keep all that nice and safe so it doesn't get lost, because I'm not sure when he'll be able to install it for me. I like that. The fire bricks and everything in it. What's that? The vent. Oh, that's for cleaning out the bottom. Oh, yeah. Bits and bobs and everything in it. Right. Get all that there. Don't worry about that later. Oh, there's loads of room at the back as well to get all his pipes and stuff done. And the flue, I specifically wanted the flue to come out the top and at the back, because what would be nice to do is be able to have like a pot of hot water on this, but also have the flue coming out the top, because a lot of them the flue comes out the back, and that means the stove has to come further out into the room, and just with the width of this hardstone, it just fits perfectly. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm even happier when it's all plumbed in. Right, couple of little bits of news. One, I have to say thank you to a couple of people. First person I have to say thank you to is Jessica for sending this little Funko Pop. Isn't that cool? Hang on, I have to see if you can see it. Right, isn't that cool? She sent us all one to the chateau. A little box arrived at the chateau with 3 of these in it. It was one of me, this one of Nick, and one of Dan. But this one has got a hat. Look, same hat as me. Isn't that cool? And she's even painted the grey of my beard in. Thankfully, she's left my bald spot out, but thank you very much, Jessica. But isn't that amazing? That's so funky. And we all got one. Nick got one and Dan got one as well. And we all love them. So thank you very much, Jessica. It's amazing. I keep it really safe. Now, the other thing I got sent was by a very kind young man called Ethan. And Ethan sent me, he saw my plight of the spanners, and he sent me massive spanners. See that thing? That's a 32 spanner. Don't have one of them. Thank you very much, Ethan. They're going to come in as handy as a small pot. And what I'm going to do with these ones is I'm going to keep them in Pascal, I think, under the seat, because I've a funny feeling if I ever need spanners like this, it's going to be in Pascal. So we're going to keep them in there nice and safe. I'll store those away. Right, a few bits and bobs to do today. glad I went camping the other day because it might be a grey day here in rural France. So an opportunity to get some jobs done around here before I have to go back to work next week. Right. First things first, Pascal, you're in the way, so you need to be moved. But I don't know where your keys are, so let's go find your keys. No, knock over the camera, Brian. Oh, this cannot be that difficult, he said, hopefully. Why are you wearing sunglasses, Brian? Well, the sun is behind a thin layer of white cloud, so it's actually quite bright out. And my eyes never do too well in when it's like cloudy but bright, get very squinty. Got snow blindness a few years ago, and they just haven't been right since. Have we done that bit? We haven't done that bit. Why is it saying do that bit? Right, okay. You've done that bit, and we got to stage 3 of... How many stages are there in this thing? 47, oh my god. Need loads of those, 5 of those, 14 of those. Right, here's that box of bits gone. Get cracking. We may have a slight problem. Let me explain what it is. When I bought this greenhouse, I bought it specifically because the door, I don't know if you can see that, if you can't I apologise, because the door needs to be on that side. Opens out, walk in, do all the good stuff. In the picture though, you see that? The door's on the other side. They've sent me the wrong greenhouse. So I was thinking, how am I going to fix this? Because the door can't be on that side, and I'll show you why in a minute. So what I've decided to do is just build it anyway with the door on this side, and then figure out a way to make a door on that side. That's where I am right now. One thing you need to know about France is customer service is kind of, I don't know, optional for most places. And if I was to go back with this kit, well, the first thing they'd say is, why is there cement all over it? And then the second thing they'd say is, well, that's the one you ordered, sir. I'm very sorry, we can't do anything about it. If I was very lucky, they'd say, we're really sorry, sir. We'll order you another one, and it'll be here in approximately 7 to 8 years. So, I'm not really left with many options. Now, the door can't be on that side. Well, because one, it's just handier to have it there. It just works better there. And two, the badger lives there. I don't know if you can see that, but under that shed, a little sort of drain slat from when it was a cow shed, I think, runs all the way along this building. And right at the end of that tunnel, we'll say, lives a badger. Well, I think it's a badger. It could be a fox. I'm not too sure. All I know is I came in one day and I heard noises and something kind of moving around, making itself comfortable. And I thought, well, something lives in there. It's probably lived in there long before I got here. I don't really want to block up that hole because it might need to come in and out that way. So my plan is to block up kind of this section of it and leave a gap on the outside here, so whatever lives in there can continue going about its business and no one has to get evicted. So yeah, the door's going to have to go here somewhere. Now luckily the width of the door is about that wide anyway, so we should be able to make something. So what I'm thinking is assemble the whole thing and then maybe afterwards tack on like a wooden frame and make a door kind of here out of something. Don't know what, but that's future Brian's problem. Right now, let's just get this thing finished so we can kind of have a look at how we're going to modify it for our needs. Nothing is ever easy. Alright Sammy, good to have you back. Have you seen where I put my T30 Torx bit? No? Alright. Oh, that's the lifty bit that goes on the roof. What's it called? Skylight. Velux. Definitely not a Velux. Skylight. Right, what's next? Attach skylight to the rear of the frame. This thing is a pain in the bum. Right, let's attach that there, and then what do you have to do with those things? make any sense? Why are you not making sense? And then slide the other halfy bit up. Oh my god. It's quite a complicated, fiddly thing to put together. I don't know who designed this thing. No idea. But they didn't make it easy, let's just say that. Now, apparently what you do, you loosen that off a bit, you push that up, you push this up, and you can tighten it, and it stays up. Success! I like that actually. So, all done, finally. Very awkward and very fiddly to put together. But it's done now. I do have to do a few more bits. So I gotta get something to seal it against the wall. And then mock up a door for here, because this is where the door is going to be. This end panel I've left out, because I needed to open it that way. The actual door is here, which, well, it's not much use to be honest, because it opens out onto a big hole. So that's probably just going to stay closed, and then what I'll do is I'll cover in that hole under the greenhouse so nothing can get in and out. Overall, I'm quite happy with it. I like the little skylight thing, that's kind of cool. And I think you can feel it's a little bit warmer in here already, so hopefully once we get it all sealed up, it should be good for growing tomatoes. Well, it's not too late now, so I might head in to get some bits and pieces I need to finish this, and one more thing I'm thinking about getting in general, and if I go now I'll have time before the shop's closed to get it. Okay, first let's have a quick cup of coffee. Right, well, slight change of plans. I was going to go into Limoges and get some bits and pieces to finish the greenhouse, but I got a call off a friend of mine who said, would you like to come over for some pizza? And I said, yeah, brilliant. And then they said, can you get some pizza on the way over? So I'm off to get some pizza. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.